Hi, my name is Sophia Parker, and I'm 30 years old. I never expected my life to change because of something as simple as a credit card bill. But here I am, sitting at my parents' house, still shocked by what happened. It all started 2 weeks ago, on a quiet Sunday afternoon. I was relaxing on the couch when I saw a notification on my phone. A charge for $3,500 at a luxury beach resort in Hawaii. My heart skipped a beat. I hadn't been to Hawaii, and I hadn't booked any trips. I quickly checked my bank account and saw a long list of charges: expensive dinners, spa treatments, and hotel stays. All of it added up to nearly $115,000. This had to be a mistake. Maybe the bank mixed up my account with someone else's. I called customer service, hoping they could fix it. But after a long wait and answering security questions, the representative told me something that made my stomach drop. "Ma'am, these charges were made with your physical credit card," she said. "Are you sure you didn't give someone permission to use it?" "No," I replied. "My card is in my purse right now." I rushed to my purse and opened it. My wallet was there, but when I checked, my credit card was gone. I paced around, trying to figure out who could have taken it. Then a thought hit me: my mother-in-law, Marilyn. She had visited our house a week ago when my husband, Ethan, wasn't home. She had borrowed my purse for a moment to grab a tissue. I hadn't thought much of it at the time, but now it seemed suspicious. I quickly called Ethan. "Hey, can you come home early? We need to talk." "What's going on?" he asked. "Your mom took my credit card and went to Hawaii. I just found out." There was a long pause, then Ethan spoke, and instead of supporting me, he said something that broke my heart. "Why are you making this such a big deal, Sophia? She's family. Just let it go." Let it go. My hands shook as I held the phone. "Ethan, she stole from me. If you can't respect my mom, maybe you should leave," he said, sounding frustrated. I felt my chest tighten, and tears filled my eyes. I couldn't believe my husband was choosing his mother over me. "Fine," I whispered and hung up. That night, I packed my bags. I couldn't stay in a house where I wasn't respected. The next morning, I canceled my credit card and called a cab to take me to my parents' house. As I was about to leave, I noticed an envelope on the floor near the mailbox. It was addressed to Ethan, but something about it made me curious. It said, "Urgent, past due notice." I picked it up and put it in my purse before heading out. I didn't know it then, but what I found inside would change everything. Sitting on the bed at my parents' house, I stared at the envelope. After everything that had happened in the last 24 hours, I wasn't sure if I wanted to know more. But something made me open it. My hands trembled as I opened the seal. Inside was a notice for a $45,000 overdue loan. My heart sank. Ethan had taken out the loan 6 months ago, but he never told me about it. The loan was high priority because he hadn't made the payments. If he didn't pay soon, the lender would take legal action. As I read on, I discovered that Marilyn had co-signed the loan. She was involved in this too. I wanted to scream. I had been married to Ethan for 4 years, building a life together. Or at least I thought we had. Now everything felt like a lie. I was uncovering secrets that could destroy everything: the loan, the stolen credit card, and the fact that Ethan had chosen his mother over me. I felt completely betrayed. I couldn't sleep that night, tossing and turning, thinking about everything. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I wasn't going to let Ethan and Marilyn ruin my life. The next day, I made a few calls to my lawyer and my bank to figure out my options. I told them about the stolen credit card and the loan. The bank said I wouldn't be responsible for any more charges since I had canceled the card. My lawyer had an even better plan. She suggested taking legal action against Marilyn for fraud. With a plan in motion, I gathered my courage and went back to my house to confront Ethan. When I walked in, he was sitting on the couch, scrolling through his phone like nothing had happened. "We need to talk," I said firmly, standing in front of him. He looked up, annoyed. "What now, Sophia?" I threw the past due notice onto the coffee table. "Care to explain this?" Ethan turned pale as he picked up the papers. "Where did you get this?" "That doesn't matter," I snapped. "What matters is that you lied to me. You've been hiding this debt, and your mother helped you do it. I trusted you." Ethan stood up, running his hands through his hair. "I didn't tell you because I knew you'd overreact, just like you're doing now." I laughed bitterly. "Overreact? You took out a $45,000 loan behind my back and let your mother steal my credit card for a luxury trip. That's not overreacting, Ethan. That's betrayal. Instead of apologizing, his expression turned cold. We needed that money, Sofia. My mother's investment in that property was supposed to pay off the loan. And how's that working out for you? I asked, crossing my arms. Because from what I can see, your mother is living her best life while you're drowning in debt. He didn't answer. The silence spoke volumes. I took a deep breath, steadying myself. Here's what's going to happen, Ethan. I've already called my lawyer. Marilyn is going to face charges for stealing my credit card, and you're not touching any of my savings. I'm filing for divorce. His eyes went wide. Divorce? You can't be serious. Oh, I am, I said, my voice cold and steady. You made your choice when you sided with your mother. Now I'm making mine. Just then, the front door opened and Marilyn walked in, carrying shopping bags. She looked surprised to see me standing there. Oh, Sofia, I didn't expect to see you here. I'm sure you didn't, I replied. I came to let you know I've reported the credit card theft to the police. You'll be hearing from them soon. Marilyn's face went pale. You wouldn't do that. We're family. Family doesn't steal from each other. I shot back. I trusted you, and you betrayed me. Now you'll face the consequences. Ethan tried to step between us. Come on, Sofia, don't do this. We can work things out. I shook my head. It's too late, Ethan. You should have thought about that before you chose her over me. And with that, I turned and walked out of the house, feeling a mix of anger and relief. It wasn't over yet, but it was the start of something new, something better. In the following weeks, things moved fast. Marilyn was charged with credit card fraud, and the court ordered her to pay restitution. Ethan tried to reach out, but I ignored him. I was done giving him chances. I finalized the divorce and focused on rebuilding my life. I started working on a business idea I put off for years, and for the first time in ages, I felt free. One day, while I was organizing my new apartment, I got a text from Ethan. It was short and desperate. Marilyn left. I'm drowning in debt. Please help me. I stared at the message before deleting it. I wasn't going to let him drag me down again. Looking around my apartment, I smiled. I had lost a husband, but I had gained something far more valuable, my freedom and peace of mind. Months passed and life slowly returned to normal. I moved into a cozy downtown apartment just a few blocks from my new marketing agency job. My days were filled with work, coffee breaks, and the kind of peace I hadn't known in years. I even started painting again, a hobby I had abandoned during my chaotic marriage. My new place was small, but it felt like home. On weekends, I'd sit by the window with a cup of tea, watching the city come alive while working on my next art piece. One Saturday morning, as I was finishing a painting, I received a call from my lawyer. Sofia, I have good news, she said cheerfully. What is it? I asked, setting my paintbrush down. The court has finalized the restitution agreement. Marilyn is legally required to pay you back the full amount she stole, plus damages for emotional distress. I breathed a sigh of relief. That's amazing. Thank you for everything. You deserve this, Sofia, my lawyer said. It's time for you to move on without looking back. She was right. A few weeks later, I heard through mutual friends that Ethan's life had fallen apart. Marilyn had abandoned him after realizing she couldn't manipulate him for more money. The house we once shared had been repossessed, and Ethan was now living in a small rental apartment. I didn't feel sorry for him. He made his choices, and now he was facing the consequences. However, there was one final twist I hadn't expected. One evening, I received a call from a number I didn't recognize. Against my better judgment, I answered. Sofia, it's Ethan. His voice sounded hoarse, like he'd been crying. I know you don't want to hear from me, but please just listen. I stayed silent, unsure whether to hang up or let him speak. I lost everything, he continued. I was wrong. I should have stood by you instead of my mother. I realize that now, but it's too late. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. For a moment, I felt a flicker of pity, but then I remembered all the nights I cried myself to sleep. The betrayal of him choosing Marilyn over me, and the strength it took to walk away. I appreciate the apology, I said calmly, but I've moved on, Ethan. I hope you can too. Is there any chance we could? No, I interrupted firmly. There isn't. I ended the call and blocked his number. I had already given him too many chances. That night, sitting on my balcony watching the city lights flicker, I felt a sense of closure wash over me. I had walked through fire and come out stronger. I wasn't the same woman who had cried over a stolen credit card and a broken marriage. I was someone new, someone who knew her worth. I smiled to myself and picked up my sketchbook, ready to plan my next painting. I didn't know what the future held, but one thing was certain. It was mine to create. As the cool night breeze brushed against my skin, I whispered softly to myself, "This is just the beginning."